All right, what is going on, Hustle Buddies? Let me know if you can see me and hear me. We've got this streaming on our YouTube, on our Facebook group, and now on our Instagram. We're trying the try stream today, all right? So this is day 2 of our Source Every Night series. I'm getting on every single night for the next, well, now 6 days, all the way until next Friday. Next Friday is when our sourcing camp starts. It's going to be similar to this, but like completely on steroids. There's going to be actually now more than 13 different, we call them camp counselors. It's successful Amazon sellers who are going to get on these conferences with us and source with us. It's not just explaining like the theoretical, like, oh, this is how you could find profitable products. This is how you can use that tool. No, like we think that there's a lot of teaching already out there. That's good stuff, but there's not a whole lot of doing. So we're like, let me take out all of like the gurus. Let me take out like the course creators who are in this to like make a course or sell a course or something like that. And let me just find successful sellers who are actively doing this. And then let's just source together and let a bunch of people watch. So that's what's coming up on next Friday. We're doing these little sourcing videos here every single night for the next 7 days. I'll jump on for probably 10 or 15 minutes. We'll just do a little bit of sourcing together, see if we can find something profitable that I can sort of share with you guys. I actually made, I decided I'm going to make like a little, I'll throw these together in sort of like a leads list type thing. Now, should you buy the stuff that we are finding on this video? It's up to you. There's going to be a couple eyeballs on this. So there's definitely going to be more competition than usual, but maybe you could rabbit trail off of it. Okay. All right. So a couple days ago, I made a post in our Facebook group and I said, what kinds of sourcing would you guys like to see? Like if I jump on every night for like 15 minutes, what kinds of stuff would you like to see and get sort of a taste of? About 45% of the people there, maybe even more than that, said Amazon to Amazon flips. That was like by far the #1 style or sourcing type that people wanted to see. So I'm going to do a little bit more of the Amazon to Amazon flipping tonight. And I'm going to do it a little bit differently. I'm going to try to throw new things at you guys every single night. And we're not going to go super deep. Again, these are going to be like 15-ish minutes long. And then if you guys have questions either about what I'm doing or just general questions, like I'm here to help you guys. If you are dealing with issues with your Amazon business, drop it in the comment section. This isn't pre-recorded. Like you can ask me a question and I can interact with you right here. Like I see Debbie on Facebook says she can hear us and they're watching from Jerusalem at 3 a.m. Holy smokes. All right. That is dedication to the business right there. I love it, Debbie. All right. So yeah, if you guys have questions or issues, anything like that, drop it in the comment section. All right. Let me see if I can share my screen here. All right. Oh, we've got a bunch of people over on YouTube. Hey, what's up, Nisi? All Day FBA. Nate Ricks. That's a good name, Nate. I like it. All right. So tonight I'm going to do something a little unusual. I will often do a lot of like manual sourcing where I'm not really using a whole lot of tools. That tends to be my favorite way to source. That tends to be where most of my content goes because I don't want to tell you guys, oh, you got to buy this tool, that tool, whatever else. Just for tonight, I'm trying to change things up and give you guys a different flavor. So I am actually going to be using a tool that is very new to me. In fact, it's a very new tool, period. I'm not even sure that he is officially selling it yet. We're going to try to convince him to maybe finish it up before Sourcing Camp starts. Maybe he can get a deal or something for Sourcing Camp members. But one of the camp counselors who's coming to Sourcing Camp, his name is Saul. Now, Saul and a guy named Chris Grant, who many of you guys know, just recently did what they call the Amazon to Amazon Flips Challenge, where there was like a whole week of just Amazon to Amazon flipping content and education, teaching people how to do these A-to-A flips. Now, Saul made a really cool tool. He calls it Flip Alert. Now, I've used this just a handful of times, and I wanted to show you guys tonight because it's so incredibly easy. Like when I say a handful of times, I mean like I looked at it one time when he first sort of showed me it, like, oh, hey, check this out. And then I looked at it a second time, like yesterday or 2 days ago when I was sourcing for my own business. It's like, oh, wow, this is incredibly easy. It's so straightforward. It's so just like you turn it on and you go. There's not a whole lot of tools like that. There's things like tactical arbitrage. If anyone's used tactical arbitrage, It's a very great tool. It's very robust, but it is not plug and play. You can't just turn it on and know how to use tactical arbitrage. This flip alert, this is literally like I just logged on. It's like, oh look, I see flips. All right, click. Oh, yep, that's a good buy. Bye. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys this here on my screen. Let's see if this screen share works. We'll be in the matrix here for just a second. Yep. All right, so let me show you this super cool flip alert. Now, basically what he's done is I guess I don't know how they did it exactly. My guess is they're pulling API data from either Keepa or from Amazon directly, but it's these flips that you would usually see in like your Keepa deals tab, but it's much more curated. It's a lot of the duds are taken out, and about 80 to 90% of everything that I clicked on was actually a good flip. Of course, there's going to be a couple things here and there that slip through, but for the most part, this cleared out a lot of the garbage that sometimes you'll see in the Keep It Deals section where it's like you don't actually want that. And it's kind of distilled it down to some really, really useful stuff. So I'm looking here on the flip alert. And I'll refresh my front page. We'll see if there's anything brand new because this stuff updates every couple minutes. And we will go through a couple of these and we'll see if we can find anything profitable. Okay, so the first one right here, I see this, I think this is Thread. It says profit of $25, ROI 25%. That's usually a little bit lower, the ROI percentage. Usually I'm looking for more like 30%. However, if this is $25 of profit and it only weighs 2.5 pounds, like this is small, it's light, and the dollar amount is pretty high. So I'm okay budging on my rules. I don't think any sourcing rules should be like absolute hard and fast. You always need to be willing to work outside of your normal parameters, okay? All right, so this is for the 10-pound one. It's sold by Amazon. It's currently 96, and it's usually up here at about 180. Is it? Let me pull this Keep It chart out. I mean, it definitely pops down to this like 96 frequently, but I mean, it goes back up to the 180 just as frequently. It kind of rotates between the two prices. There's multiple sellers, which for this situation, I like it because that means people are coming in and out of stock. Something that some people might say when they see this is, oh, Amazon is in stock. I can't compete against Amazon. That's not true. There's not very many successful Amazon sellers who think that. There are some who, for whatever reason, like they hate competing against Amazon, but it's the exception rather than the rule. But a lot of beginners think it's the rule rather than the exception. So I will compete against Amazon all day, every day. If I'm highly profitable, I won't even check like buy box statistics or anything like that because it's so inherently flawed and there's so many other nuances to it. I'm going to get more into that during sourcing camp, but just know I don't really care if Amazon is on the listing, and I don't really care to even look up buy box statistics if I'm just buying a couple of these and if it's highly profitable. Okay, so for this one, if we buy it for 96, we're actually going to flip-flop these. So our buy cost down here, it's going to be $96. If you guys are curious, I use Ace and Zen. This is my on-screen calculator right here. And they have actually partnered. They're going to give us a killer coupon and do some really cool giveaways during sourcing camp because this is the on-screen calculator I have always used. All right, we're going to use this 60-day average is even a little bit better. I'll do 90-day average. We'll say this is like moderate case scenario or best case scenario. So our best case scenario is we can sell it for like 162 or even maybe a little bit higher and make about $36. Our moderate, like I think there's a reasonable likelihood that we could sell it for 148, especially if you have to like beat Amazon on price, which sometimes you'll have to do in order to get the buy box away from them. So if they are priced up here at like the 179.99, maybe we have to price it down below at like the 150. Okay. So are we profitable at this sort of like moderate? I'm not going to call this worst case scenario because the worst case is it doesn't sell at all, but our moderate, like normal case scenario, yeah, I think I can reasonably sell this for 148. And I think this is a reasonable amount of profit. And it's selling. So we could check in here. I might look at the variations just a glance to see, are these really heavy ones actually selling? So let me sort this by ratings. All right. dark green, 10 pounds. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. And I actually like some of these more. I'm going to do something here on this one. Oh, it's fishing line. It's not yarn. It's fishing line. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. I'm going to click on this one, actually. And I want to show you guys, we're rabbit trailing a little bit here, but I mean, that's what sourcing is like. You don't just stick to one thing. So the 40-pound dark green bulk spool, whatever, today it is selling for $199.99. And obviously it's not a profitable flip if we buy it for $199.99. However, about once a week, sometimes twice a week, for whatever reason, the price drops down to like, I see 104.97, 115, 123, 123, 123, 123. Let me pop this out like a year. Yeah, it fluctuates a lot. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to track this product, and I want Keepa to tell me if this is, let me just run some numbers real fast. If I buy this for 125, am I profitable? Yeah. So yeah, that's over 30% ROI, almost $40 of profit, even if it's 125, and it's gone even lower than that. It was 105 for just a second. So if the price drops below 125, and I'll show you guys the trick here in a second. I'll get off my screen. Why is this still, it's not going away? Let me try to refresh. I'm trying to get what's underneath this little window right here. All right, and if you guys have any questions about Amazon to Amazon flips, about Sourcing Camp, about what I'm doing, or just general Amazon questions, please drop them in chat. I am here to help. All right, let's try this again. Track product. I want 125 or less. What in the world is happening? Well, usually there we go, or more or less. I want 125 or less. There we go. Okay. This way, Keepa will send me an alert, and I can go down here, track this for 1 year, 2 years, whatever you want. I'll do 2 years. Start tracking. Okay. Keepa will send me an email as soon as this drops to 125. So this is going to be something that I add to my Keepa alerts. This is a big way to do Amazon to Amazon flips, but also the previous one I would also add. So let me pull in, what was that variation we were just looking at? I think it's this one right here. Does this have any reviews? That one doesn't have any reviews. I think it would probably still sell. I think it'd probably be worth a shot. And you know what? Worst case, like I do a decent amount of fishing, or at least I like to. I don't do a whole lot of catching, but I do some fishing sometimes. Yeah, I think this is decent. So let me type in this data real quick. So we're gonna buy this for 161, and we'd flip it for the 148. I'm going to copy all of this, and I'm gonna throw it here into our sheet. Okay, so we've got the product name, our web link. It's an Amazon to Amazon flip. So the web link is the same as the ASIN. Here's all the data right there. All right, overall, I like it. Other variations to watch as well. I'll put that in the notes. Okay, if you guys want a copy of this sheet, just let me know in the chat, and I can send you this link. Okay. All right. So that was our first one. Oh, look at that. We've so where were we? There we are. So we're right here. This is the one that we just found. There are, let's see, it's about 10, 20, 25 new listings just in the time that I've been researching that one. Okay. Let's click on another one here. Let's see, 50% ROI, Hiley's Tea. Let's check this one out. All right, restore imbalance. Okay, who is selling this? Amazon is selling it. You can buy from third-party sellers. There's nothing wrong with that. Some people dislike doing that for Amazon to Amazon flips. I do it all the time, but if you don't like doing that, then here's one for you. This is directly from Amazon. Now, in the past, I've seen this go for about 12. For what? Oh, this is probably why. Interesting. All right, so here's what I would do for this. Usually this is selling for between $60 and $77. We can see that here on this Keepa graph. And then in the past, it sold for $12.47. My educated guess is that this listing changed back here at like the end of January. And it changed to a 12 pack of this. So there are 20 tea bags per box, and now there are 12 boxes. So that's 240 total tea bags. What you should do for something like this, one, I would order this personally. I'm not going to do this one because it's on a video and I don't buy things that I share on videos. But if I was not doing a video, I would definitely be purchasing at least one of these. And I would put an asterisk by it so that when I receive that order, I know to check the quantity. If I, in fact, receive 12 of these 20-pack boxes for $24, awesome. This is going to be a good flip. I'm very confident that this is going to sell. If I receive one box of 12 or one box of 20, then I'm going to complain to Amazon and I would return it because they did not send me the product that I purchased. So yeah, I like this one a lot. I think getting 57, I think is definitely doable. I think 77 would even be better. So yeah, this like 55, this would be like our low case scenario. We're making $11 a profit. Our best case ideal scenario, we're selling this more like 70 and you're about doubling your money. So this is one that I like. So I'm going to be copying this. And I usually try to use these more like realistic sale prices as far as my calculations here go, but I will oftentimes price it higher just in case I can get it for that higher price. And then honestly, I'm plugging these into my repricers all the time. So my repricers will figure out what the best price is to get the most profit there. All right. Any questions so far? Ooh, a couple of people were asking for the sheet. Let's see. So I shared it over there in Facebook. Interesting feature. Yeah, this is such a cool flip alert system. It's so easy to use. Like literally, I've only clicked on 2 products, and both products were ones that I would be buying if I was not on video with you guys. All right. Let me double check. Sorry, I'm gonna put you back into the matrix. Hey Nate, I'm gonna post this sheet over on YouTube and then throw this over in Instagram. All right, everyone has access to this sheet now. All right, let's do 1 or 2 more products. Oh, and look, literally since we looked at this product, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more products to look at in the past 2 minutes since 8:11 and 2 seconds. Yeah, this is crazy. There's so many flips here. All right, so this one, it's got an ROI of 9%. I'll probably pass on that one for now. I'm just showing you guys. I might click on that in my normal sourcing, but there's just so many options here that it's a little easier to be a little bit picky. Okay. Let's see. We've got a bra here, 20% ROI. I don't love it. And $3 profit. Don't love it. This one, Sunshine. We sell a lot of swimsuits. This looks interesting to me. Let's check out the swimsuit. All right. So we've got the Sunshine 79. This is a brand. I don't recognize this brand name. I don't know if I've ever sold this brand before. So I don't have a whole lot of like firsthand knowledge about them. I see Amazon is pretty much the only seller ever. Which is fine. That's not a red flag for me. I will sell against products like this as long as you're ungated and all of that. Looks like historically this for the past 130 days has sold for 138. That is a lot of money, but I mean swimsuits like this can sell for a lot of money. Women's swimsuits. You don't really see men's swimsuits go for this, but you think these like high-end women's swimsuits, they can really sell for a pretty penny. I apologize to the women out there who have to pay the pink tax. But yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at here. Yeah, ooh, there's a lot. So I'm looking here at this historical chart. So this one right here, historically goes for about 130. Today it's 40. This one historically goes for about 80. Today it's 40. This one goes for about 140. Today it's 45. So there are a lot of options here that look pretty decent. Now, I can't guarantee that the prices will bounce back, but with all of the data that we have, and I feel like we have a decent amount of data. I mean, it's about half a year's worth. I expect that eventually the price should go back up to this higher price point, especially since every single variation we see 143, 143, 130, 138, 145, 130, 143. Like every single one of these is going for that higher price point, except for today. So yeah, overall, I like it. I think just to sort of pick like the cream of the crop, let's go over here and pull up the number of ratings. So this will give us a decent indicator as far as which ones of these variations are selling most frequently. So this one is selling the most. It currently has no one in stock. So they sold out of that. Okay, that's interesting. This is selling what the... Oh, because it went out of stock. All right. This one, second most. So all of these have a couple of reviews. Let me see if there's any other trends that we see. Is it selling based on like the color or the size? So yeah, this color right here looks like it's selling pretty well. So let me see. Historically, 130. Today it's 100. So not quite a big enough dip. This one is a decent dip. I think overall this would be my favorite, but there's a lot of good flips here. All right, so the size 2 of this Sunshine Sunflower variant. Let's see, we're just going to flip these. So we're going to put our buy cost as $57.50. And let's look at Keepa and get a reasonable sale price. So worst case, I would say 105. Best case, 130. Let me see both of those. So 105, could we make profit? Yeah, we will make profit. And 130, obviously, we're going to make a lot more profit. All right. Let's split the difference. We'll go with like the 30-day average. So it goes right about in between that. Yeah, really good stuff. I would definitely be trying to flip this. Okay. Yeah, overall, I like this a lot. It's definitely selling. As we go into summer, this is going to be selling even more. And even in wintertime, a lot of people think swimsuits stop selling in winter. They will sell less, but they absolutely still sell in the wintertime. People take vacations down here to Florida. I live in Florida. People buy swimsuits all year round here. If you're coming from Michigan or something like that, yeah, maybe you can't find a swimsuit in your store. So when you take that winter vacation down to the Florida Keys, where are you going to go to buy your swimsuit? You're going to go to Amazon. Okay. All right. So yeah, all of these were really good stuff. I'll put A to A, A to A, A to A. All right. So 3 pretty solid leads for you guys that you can look through. If you want, I'm going to scroll through a couple of these. So if you're watching the replay and you want to pause it, if the resolution is good enough and you can pull some of these other ASINs, go ahead and pull a couple of these other ASINs because they should be good for about the next 12 hours or so until they start selling out. Okay. So if you want to pull any of those other ASINs, there's a little extra sneak peek for you. All right. So that's going to be the sourcing for now. Let me pop over and see if we had any questions either about what I did, sourcing in general. If you want to join Sourcing Camp, I actually put a QR code. So if you're interested in checking out Sourcing Camp, it's going to be, again, it's this, but on steroids. There's going to be over 30 hours of live sourcing where I will be going live. I'm one of the camp counselors, but there's also 13 other very successful 6, 7, and 8, yes, 8-figure Amazon sellers, 8 figures annually sellers that are doing arbitrage. They do retail arbitrage at 8 figures. There's a couple 8-figure OA sellers coming. I think we've got a wholesale person coming. So lots of different styles of sourcing. Everyone sources differently. So I like learning different flavors, different styles. Everyone uses different tools. Like I just used that flip alert thing for the first time like 2 days ago. And I loved it. I was like, wow, I'm going to be using this for my business. So yeah, lots of great sourcing stuff. So if you're interested, definitely check out this QR link. The doors will be closing like midnight on Thursday, so I can make sure I get everybody in by Friday. All right. Any questions or any issues you guys are having with your Amazon business? I'm trying to watch all the different. We've got our YouTube here, and then Instagram there, and then Facebook over here. So hit me with your questions, and I will try to answer what I can. All right. Let's see. Okay, over on Facebook. would I sell this FBA or FBM? I'm assuming you're talking about the very first listing. It was the spool. You could do both. It was over a pound, so your shipping for FBM is going to be about $12. It was small, but over a pound, so it'll be about $12-ish on average to ship that. Like for me to California, it'd be about maybe 13. From me to Georgia, maybe like 8. So I kind of round it to about 12. Yeah, you could do both. You could receive it, and let's say the price hasn't popped back up. I might list it FBM and then set a secondary keep it alert, because you can set keep it alerts in both directions. So we already set one keep it alert to alert us when the price dropped below a certain point. You can then set a secondary keep it alert for alert me when the price goes above a certain price threshold. And then you might list some of the stuff FBM and just like put it in your garage, price it high and keep it there and forget about it for a while. And then as soon as the price goes above that, I think it was like 150 or something was our desired price point. As soon as the price goes above like 145 or something like that, have Keepa send you an alert. And that will be your cue to, okay, now I can send this in FBA and I'll try to get my sales that way. So you could do both. All right, let me see. Yeah, I want that. Yeah, he just Saul, and Saul is one of our camp counselors. Saul is coming in to do even more Amazon to Amazon flipping. He's the one that made that tool. It's still kind of in like its beta testing. Last time I talked to him, he was like, yeah, we haven't really like released it, but hopefully it'll be finished by the time sourcing camp comes, because I would love to dive into this even further with you guys. All right. Yeah, a couple people asked for the sheet. I think I posted the sheet, this sort of the leads from tonight. I posted them here, and I'm just going to use this same sheet every single night. We're going to be doing these live videos every single night at this time. So 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on all of these platforms. I'm going to be coming live every single night, and we're going to be doing some sourcing. So if you're interested, come back here tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day. This is completely free. I'm trying to show you guys some leads, give you guys a little sneak peek of sourcing camp. Tracy, sourcing camp is so good. Yes. Yeah. Tracy's been to a couple of them. In fact, she's coming back as a camp counselor, for this one. So she's going to be crushing it. What were the parameters you used for this flip alert search? I'm going to tell you a secret, Chris. I literally set nothing up. I opened flip alert and this was my homepage. I did not put any parameters. I did not set literally anything. Like, I'm not lying when I say, here, let me, I wonder if I can share my screen again. I will literally just pull up. Okay, so we're in the matrix here for a second. I'm going to go to flip alerts, blah, 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 dashboard. Okay. I haven't set a single setting up. This is my home page. All right. And we can click on this first one. Let's see, price 99 cents. All right, that's probably a pretty good flip. There's not a whole lot of products that you can't buy. Oh, and look, you could probably flip this. You could like rebundle this up. So you buy like 2 or 3 of these and then sell it back as the 2-pack or the 3-pack, something like that. Yeah, this is all I did. Historically, it goes for $6.50. This is going to have lower fees than usual because it is they don't call it small and light anymore, but there are still lower fees for items that are priced below $10 and are small and light. So yeah, you should still be able to make some profit on this one, buying it for 99 cents and selling it for $6.50. Yeah, it makes a little bit of money, and you might be able to rebundle it back up. So yeah, Chris, when I say like I literally didn't set a single setting up, I literally did not set a single setting up. That's just the homepage. That's how easy, that's how like plug and play this was. So cool. Will the camp be recorded? Yes. So the way the camp works, we start next Friday. So June 21st, it goes for 10 days. So we're going all the way until the 30th of June. And it will be every single night. Usually we start around 4 or 5 o'clock, depends on the day. And usually we go till about 9 or 10 in the evening. Not every day will be that jam-packed full, but every single breakout session, so it's like an hour. So like this camp counselor will source for an hour, and then we'll have a little break. And then this person will source for an hour, and we'll have a little break. And then this person will source for an hour, and so on. So that'll be going on every single night. And every single one is recorded, because I know there's not a chance that people are going to be able to make every single breakout session. I mean, again, we're going like over 30 hours of sourcing videos here. over almost just a little bit more than a week. Like that's a lot of time commitment. That's almost a full-time job. So yeah, everything is going to be recorded. It'll be live in a private Facebook group first. And then once everything finishes, I can download the recordings and I'll put them up into a private server to keep them nice and safe so that Facebook can't delete them ever. We've had that issue in the past. All right. Any other questions? Debbie, no problems. Have fun in Jerusalem. That sounds like an awesome trip. I want to visit that part of the world. I've been to a lot of places, but I've not been anywhere to like the Middle East or like Israel, Jerusalem, anywhere in that section of the world. I've not been it, and I would love to be there. My wife is actually half Lebanese, so we would love to go over there and visit sometime. Glad it's recorded, as I'll be on vacation 5 out of those camp days. Yeah. Yep, everything will be recorded, so no one will miss anything. All right. Any other questions, comments, concerns, issues with your Amazon business that I can help with? I'll stick on video here for another like 5 minutes or so in case we've got any other questions. Debbie, come visit. Awesome. Yeah. So Debbie, are you doing OA from Jerusalem? Like it sounds like that's where you live. Are you doing OA in the States from Jerusalem? If so, that is super cool. I would love to hear more about that. I love hearing people who are selling in the States, but doing it from somewhere very different, because that sort of shows people like this is a very travel friendly business. Like you can go on a cruise and continue sourcing OA. You can go backpacking through Asia and continue sourcing OA. You can live in Jerusalem and continue sourcing from OA. Yes, OA from Jerusalem to Amazon in the States. That's awesome. How much, maybe, I don't know if you want to say this publicly, but how much are you guys doing from Jerusalem? Like, say, it doesn't have to be exact, but are you like just starting? I mean, I recognize your name, so I don't think you're just starting on Amazon, but are we talking like 10K a month or 30K a month? Like, is this like a successful business for you guys or more of like a side hustle? And it's totally cool either way. Or if you don't want to share, that's fine too. Leo, what's up with replacements? I don't know what you're talking about there, Leo. Maybe you can expound upon that. Around 40K per month on average. Debbie, that is awesome. We might have to bring you in for the next sourcing camp if you're interested. Have you be one of the camp counselors and show us how you do OA from overseas in the States. I love that perspective. I love that sort of style, the way of doing this, where like you don't have to live here in order to do this. You can be anywhere. So yeah, that's super cool, Debbie. Debbie, shoot me a message, or I might shoot you a message after this as well. And let's talk about getting you in for the next sourcing camp as one of the camp counselors, so people can watch what you do, how you do it, all that stuff. Let's see. Donna. I just moved from Atlanta, where I did RA. Now I live in Quito doing OA. Super cool. Yeah, Donna's the same thing. We're gonna have to do like a special. Yeah, I remember I saw your post in the Facebook group, Donna. Yeah, I would love to bring in some more overseas people. It's hard to necessarily like find you guys because there's not like a group for like, oh, we are the expat North American OA sellers. Like it's a niche of a niche of a niche of a niche. But yeah, let me talk to you guys, and we'll try to get like a little session set up for the next sourcing camp, because I would love to hear your guys' story and hear how you do it. Let's see. I think I remember you from the last OAC. Awesome. Yeah, that's probably I know I've seen Debbie's name multiple times, and we've got like 30 mutual friends. So I know she's been doing this for a while in the Amazon space. Is that customer asking for a return? And they just send another? I still don't know what you're talking about, Leo. I see. Hang on a second. What's up with replacements? When Amazon sends a replacement and we lose a product, is that customer asking for return and they just send another? So it doesn't come from, it might come from your stock, but Amazon pays for it. They don't ever just like automatically send a customer a second one of your units. I don't believe, I could be mistaken on that. But yeah. Yeah, I'm sure you're desperate for like OA overseas networking. Yeah, because I would love to. Maybe I should make like a sub Hustle Buddies group specifically for that, because it's definitely a really cool niche, and a lot of people want that. Even like the RVers, like the people who don't have like a base camp. Even here in the States, they might live in the States, but they like live in an RV and they're always traveling. I know there's a lot of RV people who flip stuff, but yeah, Donna and Debbie, you guys should connect, and you guys should connect with me, and let's work something out. Adolfo, hey, what's up, man? We've got a local Orlando guy here. Yeah, and Leo, it's hard necessarily to answer specifically to that because like I don't know what Amazon said. I don't know what alert you've been getting. Generally, for a lot of these questions where like you might not get a perfect answer from me or even from Amazon, generally my word of advice is focus on the things that you have control over and don't stress out about the things that you can't control. So things that you can control: how much you're sourcing, how much you're feeding the beast, sending stuff to Amazon, finding new products, finding replenishable things. If you've run out of budget, maybe working on that. Training yourself, getting better at OA, honing your sourcing skills. Those are things that you can control. Things that you can't control: Amazon being Amazon, customer getting switcheroo return, things like that. There's a moderate amount of control over some of the things. I mean, you can put in reports like if a customer actually like switches products on you or sends something else. But yeah, that's generally, don't put too much of your brain power into some of these weird like niche side cases, because they will either work themselves out or they won't, and there's nothing you can do about it. Like it doesn't. Yeah, it's not worth getting worked up over, because yeah, it doesn't. Nothing you can do either way. Either Amazon has provided them with one on Amazon's behalf, or they've taken one from your account, and that sucks. I don't think that's what they do, but in case they did, yeah, it sucks, but there's nothing you can do about it either way. What percentage of my listings have Amazon on them? Oh, I have no idea. I couldn't give you a metric. I would say easily more than 50%, like easily, because it's literally, and again, I am not exaggerating when I say this, it is literally not a metric that I look at when I am sourcing. It's like, a lot of people will have their like SOPs, their standard operating procedures. And I've done this. Like when I've trained people to source for me, I will have my standard operating procedures like, okay, step one, look at price. Is it profitable? Check. Okay. And it's got to have like certain this. If I'm training somebody else, I try to sort of like dumb it down. So it's like, okay, it must make X amount of profit and have more than X amount of ROI. Because I don't want them making decisions. I want them following directions, if that sort of makes sense. I will make decisions. I don't have to follow directions because it's me, it's my business. But when I'm training somebody else, I don't want them to have to like make that call, like, oh, I think this is a good buy, or I think this is that buy. No. I want to give them directions. So I'm going to give them very set parameters. And when I give them parameters, Amazon being on the listing is literally not one of the parameters. When I'm sourcing for myself, I literally don't care. Does not matter to me. I will fight against them all day, every day. The only time that this would ever come into play for my personal business is if I'm going really deep on something. Like I'm buying like 100+ units of it. Like I'm getting like a whole pallet, and I'm trying to determine how quickly can I sell through my stock. I'm not trying to determine if I will sell my stock, because I know I will sell some. Even if Amazon doesn't share the buy box, I will still get sales. I know that 100% of the time I will still get sales. If I'm buying 100 though, I want to have a better idea of velocity. And so like if it's just me and Amazon and the margins are kind of slim and I can't beat them by price too much and I'm buying 100, all right, maybe I would pass in that very niche scenario. But it's not something I care about, Michelle. Let's see. That's very helpful. So you just make sure it's profitable at the price Amazon is selling at. Yeah. So like there are listings where I don't sell on it. Like I don't flip it. Amazon is on the listing, Amazon is selling it. But the reason I'm not selling it is not because Amazon is selling it. It's because Amazon is selling it for like $5, and I would never be able to beat them on price. I'm never going to be profitable at that price point. But it would be the same if it was like a regular third-party FBA seller selling it for $5, if that makes sense. So the parameter is the price. Like that is the red flag. It has nothing to do, for me and my business, it's nothing to do with Amazon. Like I don't look at that statistic. I don't look at that metric in Keepa, on Amazon, in any of the tools. I never like deselect. A lot of the tools will be like, oh, we can exclude if Amazon is on the listing. I would never click that ever. You're excluding so much money. And in fact, I tend to like the listings better because there's a lot of beginners who have seen these like TikTokers or YouTubers who are like, oh, you can't compete against Amazon. That's some will say it's not allowed, which is a ridiculous statement. And others will say that you just can't do it because you'll never get a sale, which is not as ridiculous, but still kind of a ridiculous statement. And so because of that, the number of sellers that you will be competing against is usually significantly smaller if Amazon is on the listing, because for whatever reason, there's a lot of people out there that think that that's a bad thing to do or that you shouldn't do that. So I find that generally, like if a normal listing, let's say a normal listing of mine has like 20 other sellers on it, a normal listing with Amazon on the listing might have 5 other sellers on it. So like that's a 75% reduction in the number of competition, the competitors that I'll have. So yeah. I love that we've connected Debbie and Donna here through this video. Awesome. I love it. Yeah. And I'll have to connect with both of you guys so we can do a cool session with some overseas stuff. All right. Okay. Let me see. Any last minute questions? Any over here on YouTube that I'm missing? I don't think so. Again, we've got QR code up here for Sourcing Camp if anyone is interested. Over here on Instagram. This is my first time that I have live streamed on Instagram. We've got Henry said that there's an interesting feature. Yeah, cool. Excellent. Awesome. Yeah, I'm glad that was helpful. And then over here on Facebook, does A to Z protect sellers against boxes damaged in transit FBM? Technically, the USPS should be the one to cover that. Both companies will kind of bounce you around to the other one. Yeah, Amazon should protect you. And yeah, USPS or FedEx or whoever you used should also protect you. They can kind of bounce you around. Sometimes you can get those. Sometimes you can't. It's a bit of a coin flip in my experience. It's always worth trying. But we haven't had 100%. We have not had a 100% success rate in getting refunded for boxed, transit damaged boxes. That's what I'm trying to say. All right. Let's see. With a prep center, and you have clothing returns, how does that work? So for our returns, if you are, well, I guess Donna might be asking Debbie. But 2 things. Did Lego arrive box damaged to you, or you sent it to a customer and the box was damaged? Because that'll be, if it arrived to you and it was a damaged box, wherever you bought it from, you can return it to them. Like if you bought it from Walmart or whatever, return it to Walmart. Or if you bought it from Amazon, complain to Amazon. You can either return it or maybe get a decent refund. All right, with a prep center and clothing returns, how does that work? So your return address can be a different address than your ship from address. So the prep center does not have to be the same place that you receive your returns to. The people that I know that do this from overseas or do it like in an RV, things like that, most of them actually use a returns service. So there's a couple companies out there that are sort of like liquidation companies where you can set them as your return destination for your Amazon account. And any returns you get will go to them. And then they will then resell it on their platform. Some of them do it through eBay. Some of them just do it as like warehouse through their own warehouse. And then you will get a cut of that. I'm trying to remember the company. Like it's so hands-off that I set it up like 5 years ago for myself. And I haven't really touched it since. I just get a check every month from a company. I'll have to look in my PayPal to see who's paying. And I know I'll do taxes sometimes, be like, who the heck is, like, where are these thousands of dollars coming from? What is the name? Like, what is this company? And then I'll have to like do a bunch of digging, like, oh yeah, that's my returns people. So I have a company that I've been using for that. I don't remember the name off the top of my head. I can try to look at my PayPal later if you remind me. But yeah, that's usually it. Some prep centers will take your returns and then reship them for you, depending on the prep center. I would talk to your prep center about that, see if that's something that they offer or would be willing to do with you. The best prep centers are always the ones that you can communicate with and ask questions like that. So, yeah. Leo, you sent to FBM to the customer and it arrived damaged. Yeah, I mean, try to do it through Amazon. Try to do it through USPS. There's a chance that it doesn't work out, in which case, I don't know, I might tell the customer to ship it back to me and just give them like a full refund or something like that. If you can't get Amazon or USPS to cover it for you, but it is what it is. It's kind of part of doing business online. Might even convince me to sell shoes and clothes. Yeah, we love shoes and clothes. I mean, that's at least 70% of, and like we run a 7-figure business. There's sellers that are larger than us. There's sellers that are smaller than us. We're happy doing what we do, but we've got a 7-figure business and 70% plus of that is shoes and clothing. It's just such a great category for us, for me. I like it. All right. That is all the questions that I see for now. So I hope that helped, guys. Sorry, Leo, I couldn't be more help or give you better, like definitive advice. Both Amazon and USPS should cover that, but they might not. They try to kind of blame each other. So, all right. Good luck, everybody. I hope you get out there and make a lot of money. And I hope to see a lot of you guys at Sourcing Camp, which is coming up on Friday. All right. Scan that QR code. We'll see you there. Hustle on, everybody.